Hey guys, Ashley Dove here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you what I believe is the number one thing that you need if you would like to be in a healthy, happy relationship. Um, Before I do that, I'd like to share a little background about myself. My name is Ashley Dove. I've been married to my husband Jeremy Dove for going on 9 years. We've been together for 14 years, and we are a unique couple. Um, Unique in the sense that we are best friends, we are lovers, we are high school sweethearts, we lost our virginities to one another, we are our first most everything, and we are just we're known as Ashley and Jeremy, the Doves. I don't know. So anyway, I wanted to start a YouTube channel where I could go and talk about relationships and how I feel like people can improve theirs. People sometimes will tell me their stories or what's going on in their relationship, and they will let me know, the problems that they're having. They want to know what it is that Jeremy and I do. How do you guys do what it is that you do? And I'm like, relationships aren't that hard. So I decided to start this YouTube channel to explain my thoughts and feelings and opinions on the subject at hand. So, the secret, in my opinion, and I think it's based true anyway, the secret to a happy and healthy relationship is not what most people think. Most people think it's communication, or most people think it's trust. But in all honesty, the most basic thing that is going to save your relationship, that is going to make your relationship so much better and get better every single day, is something that is so simple, and I bet you haven't even thought about it, because I don't really know what else comes besides love and respect. What is it? Love, trust, communication. Those are important. They're very important. But the foundation of a healthy relationship will only survive if it is based off of respect, because everything else can follow under this category. If you respect someone, you will communicate with them better. If you respect someone, you typically trust that person, because in order to trust someone, you have to respect them, and vice versa. I found this to be very, very helpful in my relationship. When Jeremy and I have ever had any kind of issues that have come about, which happen in relationships. We're not perfect. We have fought before. We have had moments of weaknesses or whatever, where we're not being as sweet as we can to one another out of whatever reason, and it all boils down to whether or not you respect the person that you're with. So, for example, if you are questioning whether or not you are in the right relationship, or questioning whether or not this is the right person for you, or if you have any kind of doubts just in general, you could look at the whole base of your relationship and just ask that simple question: do you respect the person that you're with? And it's one of those questions that you don't want to lie to yourself about, because I know what a lot of us do, where we don't want that to be the answer of like, no, well, not really. I don't really respect her or him or the things that he do or whatever. Don't trickle down that shit. Don't trickle down that path. Just don't. Because if you can't respect someone, you will not open up to them. So you can't trust them. You won't trust them. You won't communicate with them, because you won't feel as though they deserve to be communicated with, because you don't respect them. And it'll all just fall to crap. It'll all just fall to shit. And all of a sudden, you'll be a person that you don't even recognize anymore, being rude to somebody that you claim to care about. And it just makes you look bad. And it makes people, it breaks my heart to watch people talk crap about the person that they're with. And then I'm like, rule one, don't talk crap about the person that you're with to anyone, because that just leaves an open door for everybody to talk crap about them later, and you cannot defend them because you do it too. That's not good. You don't need that. So anyway, that's it. That's all. Like, I'm not going to make a 12-hour video, because there's really nothing else to say. When it comes to relationships, if you want it to be successful, if you want it to be happy, if you want it to get better every day, you need to respect the person that you're with. You need to not be submissive and not respect them because you have to, but actually want to become a better person because of that person, because they respect themselves. So I actually have a little small story that goes and ties into this. It's perfect. So Jeremy and I are kids. We're 18, and we go down to my parents' pond, and one of our friends brings a little pot, and Jeremy's like, "Do you mind?" And I'm like, "Do you, right?" I'm at this point in my life where I have never had anything like that. I don't do that. That's just not who I am, right? But I'm also the kind of person that's not going to tell you how to live your life. So I said, "Jeremy, do you?" And he did. And he came to me a little while, like immediately afterwards, and I was freaking out. And he was like, "What's happening?" And I'm like, "I'm not that kind of person. I didn't think you were that kind of person." And he was like, "If you don't want me to do something, or if this is something that bothers you, I don't have to do that. It's not me. So don't worry about it." I was like, "Okay, cool. Problem solved." A few hours later, we're hanging out, drinking illegally. I was just bad kids. Anyway, so I start acting a fool. And he's like, "I don't want you to do that. I don't need you to do that." And I'm like, "Oh, well, you can do this, but I can't do that." And instead of doing what most people do in that type of situation where you're like, oh, let's get about it. No. Jeremy sat back and he was like, "Okay, I'm going to go call my dad. I'm leaving." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "I didn't think you were the kind of person that would talk to me like that. And I'm not going to be talked to like that. So I'm going home. I'm leaving." And in that moment, I realized that Jeremy respected himself enough to let me know about it, and enough to not cause any kind of commotion or act like an ass like I was. Even still, even me acting like an ass, he didn't act like one because he respected himself and he respected me. And he was like, "If this is how you are, I'm just gonna gracefully bow out now." And I don't remember how many months we had been dating at that point, like 3, 4, I don't remember, 5, I don't remember. It's a long ass time ago. But the point is, I realized in that moment that this was a man who respected himself, and a man who was really, just, I don't know, I was blown away in that moment because I had never had that type of reaction back to me where I was being irrational and rude, in all honesty. Not 17, so who cared? But I'd never in my life had somebody who was just like, "I'm not going to argue with you about that. If that's who you want to be, that's what you want to do, cool. But that's not what I'm going to do." And it just took that little moment for me to take a step back and really kind of re-examine, who I was and who I wanted to be and who I wanted to surround myself around. So when it comes to like my life and relationships, I'm very passionate about people not wasting their time with people that they don't respect. Whether you're not being respected or you don't respect the person you're with, either way, it's never, ever, ever gonna work because we're equals as humans, and if we can't be exceptionally happy with our spouses, then I don't understand why we'd be with them. I wouldn't. So that's me. I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope that this was helpful, and if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, this is something that I'm really very passionate about, and I really love talking about because I have experienced a very successful relationship. I have moments and that each day just get better, and I would love for people to experience that because it's just, you only get to live one time, and there's no sense in living it with someone that you don't care about, someone that you don't love or respect, and there's really no point in letting the person that you're supposed to be with wait out there while you waste your time with people that you just don't care about. So, questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm excited, and I'm out.